And we are live for this week's episode of Windy City Hockey Live. What's up, Ryan? How are you doing? Hey, Aaron. Hopefully my connection's coming through. It's showing a low ping on my end, but it's looking crystal clear, though. Let me know if you guys are getting good connection from my end. If not, I will just have to get that situated. But we're going to talk a little bit about the preseason game last night. As I did a short video on YouTube. If you didn't check that out, I will be doing shorts for reviews on the preseason games. I might also make a short form review for each of the game videos as well, with my full reviews as well to go with it. So I will have like a short review and a full review video as well in this upcoming season. Preseason, that's a different story. I'm going to just do that to a short format. But let's talk a little bit about the preseason game we saw last night. And last night was the start of the Connor Bedard era. And well, it looked great. Bedard got off to a good performance in the Madhouse. Yes, there's only 9,000 fans at the United Center during preseason. The 300 level was closed off, but that's a different story. Yeah, I did notice Jim Corneliuson had a beard. I have a feeling Corneliuson will shave that off probably in the season, because there's been times where Corneliuson has had a beard before, but who knows? Maybe he just wants to have one. So let's talk about it. The Hawks won last night's preseason game, their first of the preseason, 2-1 in overtime against the St. Louis Blues. Connor Bedard with 2 assists in last night's performance, both primary assists. And the 2 goals scored by the Hawks were from number 23, Philip Kurashev, and number 89, Andreas Athanasiou, for the game-winning goal in overtime. The Hawks looked really good last night. There was a lot more speed in their play. Corey Perry did what he was getting paid to do, be a leader and protector to the young players out on ice. Saw a questionable hit high up in the head on Martin Misiak, who ended up having to go to the locker room. Luckily, Misiak was okay to come back to play. Perry got into a scrum, got a double minor. The Hawks looked good from pretty much the entire game. By the midway point in the third period, they started to look kind of off their game, and St. Louis started to find their composure and got on the board. Robert Thomas tying it all up. Another notable thing was Connor Bedard's defensive play. He got to the puck in the defensive zone, playing smart defensively, offensively. He could have had a breakaway goal, but the puck bounced on his stick, and well, that happens. Why is my dog in here? Elsa. I thought Bedard would hate hockey, though. Are you talking about the Bedard likes hockey? Yeah, I will be getting that t-shirt for a Obvious shirt. That's a great shirt that they ended up just going ahead making a Obvious shirt. I like hockey, quoting Connor Bedard from last night's media event. Hey Jack, how are you? Let's look through these comments real quick. Yeah, it was a little weird seeing Corneliuson with a beard. But yeah, Connor Bedard saying I like hockey, it doesn't surprise me. It's a better quote than I would rather if I make the roster from Bedard, his go-to. I will give you guys a heads up. Stream won't be a long stream today, as I just wanted to hop on, give you a little bit of insight what I saw from last night's game. We could talk a little bit, but that's about it. I can only be live for 25-ish minutes. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you know anyone looking for Blackhawks content, please make sure to send them a link to the channel and get them to subscribe, as we're still growing. Yes, we're over 1,000 subscribers, but it's always great to continue to grow the channel. Kershaw breakout season incoming? I can see it. Kershaw looked really good last night in his preseason debut from last night, getting on the board. He really, honestly, that second line of Kershaw, Appadesiu, and Reichel looked really good. I really hope to see that line continue, and maybe we see more action from it. Didn't see Taylor Radish out on the ice last night. Radish did not play. I expect him to probably play tomorrow night against, is it Minnesota or Detroit we're playing? It's one of those two teams. I know we played both games. Reichel looked good when he had the puck. He did not look good at the faceoff dot. I was keeping an eye on Reichel at the faceoff, and it was not the greatest. The young defense was great last night. Yeah, it is Minnesota. Okay. Yeah, preseason, I don't look ahead into the scheduling. I just know we play what days. I know we play it back to back. That's why I couldn't remember if it was Detroit or Minnesota tomorrow. Korchinski, I would say Korchinski last night kind of looked off his game and not the best, but he played well. Nolan Allen played really well. Alex Vlasic looked really good. Wyatt Kaiser looked good. Jones got off to a slow start, but he's a veteran. You can expect the vets to just get to slow starts and play, to just get into game action for preseason. Taylor Hall, I really liked what I was seeing with him when they were panning to Hall and Bedard on the bench. Was really good to see. Hall go to the iPad and teaching some tips to Bedard. Murphy looked a little rough, but not that bad. He actually looked pretty good for a first preseason game. Veteran. They don't always have to have the best games in preseason. I'm not too worried about Murph. Where else was I about to say? I really am hoping to, out of this I will give you guys a heads up. The season preview video will be getting dropped this coming Monday. So at Monday, about 5:30 Central Time, expect the season preview of the Chicago Blackhawks season to be released, because at that point, I feel like it's ready to go. I've been working on it, and I feel like we're getting to that point where, okay, the season's almost here. Let's have that video coming out. And I'm working on something for the channel. As you know, I'm not able to monetize it yet. So I'm working on something to get the channel and a order where maybe help monetize. But guys, I want to hear what your thoughts were. What you saw from last night. I see a few of you saying some comments like Ryan and what he was saying he saw from the players last night. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts were on some of the players from last night. Which player came out as the big surprise in last night's game? Which player worked out to be kind of maybe we see him and going to Rockford next year. Yeah, it would be awesome to start monetizing the channel. I know I'm not a fan of people getting advertisements on channels, but I can now understand it. I didn't expect Kevin Korchinski to be that good. Yeah, I didn't expect Korchinski to have that big of a game. He looked good. There were points where he kind of looked like a 19-year-old out on the ice. But that's still time to work in his game. He's still a young, developing defenseman. Drew Commesso looked really good. I really liked what I saw with Commesso. He really does remind me a hell of a lot like Corey Crawford, the way he plays in net. And it if Commesso pans out the way he is, get ready for a long tenure of a number 29 Drew Commesso between the pipes of the Chicago Blackhawks. That Bedard pass that set up the OT winner was picture perfect. Yeah, that was a great pass by Bedard. He could probably also shoot it, but he got a great pass off to after the steal that led to the goal. So I really like it. Meso doesn't need to make big saves. He always he is, and that's one thing I like about him. He reminds me of Corey Crawford. He's always in the right position. He's a sound goalie to make the right play. He's not a goalie that's going to cost you anything. He's a smart goalie. Just play sound in net and you'll get the victories from him. He does need to get his own Chicago Blackhawk mask and some Blackhawk pads. I could tell he's still using his BU stuff. Marcel looked good. He did. Didn't get a lot of action last night from Marcel, but I expect Marcel to be in Rockford in the next couple of days. Probably see him play this weekend, but I don't think Marcel's going to get a lot of game action in the next couple of days because I expect him to be going to Rockford here soon. And as you know, I'm saying going to Rockford. Well, Marcel was able to sign a AHL contract to play with the Rockford Ice Hogs rather than go back to the juniors, so that's a good thing. The power play was a mess. They only had one power play, like 1 day of practice for power play, so that still needs to be dialed in. And I could see it starting to find its game in the next couple of days. But yeah, power play needs some work. The penalty kill looked really good. So what's your guys' thoughts on our new scrapper, old veteran Corey Perry? I would never have thought I would be cheering for Corey Perry ever. Wyatt Kaiser, I think, is most likely will be going to Rockford this season. Yeah, I have a weird feeling Kaiser will go to Rockford. Even though I feel like he deserves a roster spot in Chicago, but I think Kaiser goes down to Rockford this season, kind of do a Alex Vlasic type of situation. Vlasic had kind of a similar route to the NHL. 2 years ago, came in as a rookie from college, played a little bit at the end of the season, played in the development camp and rookie like prospect showcase, played well in that, and was sent down to Rockford pretty much the entire season. Kaiser's having a similar route. I feel like the fact that he's able to go to Rockford, I think it's an easier choice for him to go there. You like Corey Perry now? What are you surprised? What's your surprise cuts and makes in the training camp? My surprise cut. It's going to be called. I'm going to say Colin Blackwell. The guy hasn't been playing during training camp. And I just think Blackwell's not going to have a roster spot here. Same with Reese Johnson, same with Boris Kachuk. I think they're going to be the cuts. Mackenzie Entwistle, I really think will make the roster. He has better speed. He can hit. He can fight. He has more of that package that will fit the roster. And I think McKenzie makes the roster. That's where I'm at with that. A surprise make. I'm trying to think of anyone. Yeah, I really can't think of anyone right now, Ryan. Maybe Colton Dock? Yeah, Corey Perry cursed. It's cursed to see in a Blackhawk uniform. Yeah. Well, guys, as I did say, I'm going to be live for only 25 minutes today. We're already getting up to that 18-minute mark. So I'm just giving you the basically 5-minute warning. But yeah, I expect us to have more speed, hitting, and skill on this roster than we have in past years. It felt like last night the Blackhawks were a lot more fast team compared to what we've seen in past, like the last 3 years, which is going to be fun. Match them speed, hitting of other teams. I think it will be a good thing to see. But do you guys like the idea of me doing shorts for reviews during the preseason? Because I want to have a get an idea from what you guys think of. Because I did a short last night for last night's preseason game. I will, if you want, I can continue doing that. At least Perry wouldn't have to worry about making the cup final and losing again. Yeah. Which goalie would the Hawks would like the Hawks to start first regular season game? I really would like to see Arvid Soderblom get the first start. I would rather have him play against Pittsburgh and have Mrazek play against Boston the next night. So I would rather see Arvid Soderblom in net against the Pittsburgh Penguins opening night in Pittsburgh. Mrazek, I could see get the start just because he's the vet, but I would prefer to see Arvid get that start in that game because it's a first of a back-to-back. And they pull. I think Arvid would match up better against Pittsburgh than him playing against Boston. What's it like actually having a first overall pick that's good at hockey? I wish I could relate. Well, I dealt with it for the last 15 years, over 15 years there with Patrick Kane, and that was great. And now with Connor Bedard, it's an awesome feeling again. If that answers your question. I know what you're referring to is Lafreniere not having the greatest start to his Rangers career. Just because the Rangers don't know how to develop forward prospects, I feel like. How has Laff done in preseason, if you don't mind me asking? I wouldn't say Lapp is a bust. I just think the Rangers don't know how to develop young forwards well. They can develop defense and goaltending. I just have not seen them develop their own forwards. The last time I could really truly think of a forward that they developed themselves, Chris Kreider, if that's fair to say. I would say it's Chris Kreider. And that was a long time ago at this point. Kreider still plays, yes, but they really haven't truly developed any forwards well. Kind of like the Bears can't develop quarterbacks. Well, that's the Bears. They can't develop anyone right. Other than, yeah, they can't really develop anything right. Yeah, the Bears piss off everyone. It's okay. Any Bear fan watching the stream, hop on the shows now because this is the time to join Chicago Blackhawks hockey. The Blackhawks are the saviors of Chicago sports. The Cubs, they're a freaking joke right now. They should be a playoff team, but you have the Ricketts who think they're a poverty franchise. You have the McCaskies owning the Bears forever, and they don't know how to run an organization, and that's why they've been rebuilding since 1986. The Bulls, they're just dysfunctional. So is the White Sox. I'm not a White Sox fan, but I know they're dysfunctional. 1 second. But yeah, the Bears, Cubs, White Sox, and Bulls, they're all dysfunctional. No future with all of them. The Cubs maybe, but they just don't know how to hold on to any momentum going into the month of September. Can't even blame the team anymore like him like mental mistakes aren't the coach's fault. At least Kakko looks good when he's not producing the same with Cheadle. Laugh is just, yeah. I root for the Mets, Knicks, and Rangers. I know all about dysfunctional. Yeah. Chicago and New York kind of have a similar path. Dysfunctional franchises. White Sox and Bears are dysfunctional. The Cubs are collapsing. The Bulls will probably be will underwhelm again. Yeah. The reason why I'm saying the Cubs are kind of dysfunctional, they refuse to understand it's time to go to enter a rebuild after trading away players like Anthony Rizzo, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, and they never said they were in a rebuild. They haven't been good. I get it. This was their best season in a while, but they still suck. Going into the final 3 days of the season, they're choking at that. If they want to make the playoffs, if I was a Jets fan, that would put the icing on the cake. Yeah, that would. But yeah, I know how New York has a similar path with like how Chicago is. Why would you trade Rizzo and stuff but not have a rebuild? Cubs are a joke. Yeah, that's where I was at. I was like, what are you even doing if you aren't wanting to rebuild if you're trading away all these assets? But guys, I'm going to give you a heads up. I will be live for just 4 more minutes. But yeah, Bedard and the Hawks are the saviors of Chicago sports. So it's time to jump on the ride and join the party. I get it. We aren't going to be a good team this year, but we're going to be a fun team to watch. Mainly because number 98 of your Chicago Blackhawks is here, and he is the savior of Chicago sports from irrelevancy. Because this team's going to be on TV quite a bit, and just because of Connor Bedard, it's brutal. New York teams has made a championship since 2015 and won one since 2012. Meanwhile, we have 8 pro sports teams here. Yeah, I mean, um, you guys made it to the World Series in um 15. Man, I hated that Mets team. Made it to the Stanley Cup final in 14, and 2012 was the Giants. Meanwhile, the Rangers slogan, play like a New Yorker. Is that still their slogan? I was wondering if they were going to change that because, God, that's such a bad slogan. Go to Sox game and risk. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw that. I can't believe that actually happened at a baseball game. Someone get. I hope who I hope the person who got shot was okay. Um, New York City FC won the 2021 MLS Cup, which is a professional league. Yeah, it's a professional league, but they don't get as much recognition. No, it's now no quit in New York, and been the been that's been the slogan since 2021, which is somehow even worse because the team clowns us for it. Yeah, that's not a good one either. Right, our old slogan in Chicago was one goal, or then they switched it up just a little bit to believe in one goal. And now our current slogan is ready to work. Like last year, they changed to the ready to work slogan in Chicago for the Blackhawks. And people were just starting to kind of meme on it by ready to go to work for tanking for Bedard. And now we're ready to work for a new era of Blackhawks hockey. You prefer the one goal slogan? Yeah, I always liked the one goal slogan, but I don't think we'll ever go back to it because that was a John McDonough slogan. Hell, they made all their Stanley Cup books. Ugh, let me grab them. These things are heavy. all the Stanley Cup books were called One Goal in a Wave. One Goal Achieved for the first one, One Goal 2, and One Goal 3. One Goal 2 was always a fun one because it actually has a TV screen in it, playing 17 seconds. Haven't tested if it still works because it's over 10 years old at this point. But it's worth a shot to give it a try. I just need to check if it needs to be charged. I forgot how heavy those books are. Where did that... Uh-oh. I think my patch just fell on behind the dresser. So guys, I do have to let you know I have to... I miss the Rangers using Believe or Welcome to Ranger Town, even calling all blue shirts was okay, but the past two have been brutal and every fan hates it, and we can't bully them out of it still. Yeah. But guys, I do have to hop off the stream here. Been live for 30 minutes, but I have stuff going on. So I want to say thank you for all you guys who came by the stream. I really appreciate it. And if you're coming to the stream after it is live, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks. And the new era of Chicago Blackhawk hockey is here.